Yes, now ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Thomas Ladd's YouTube channel. My hair is not it today, so let's ignore it and let's not make fun of it. Obviously I need to talk. Need to talk on Monday Night Raw, right? I'm still in the process of watching NXT, which I'm mad about, but I'll talk about it in the next video. Let's talk about Monday Night Raw, my reactions and my opinions. I mean, first of all, kicking off the show, I'm going to start with what kicked off the show, even though it's probably the biggest thing to talk about. But it's not. It shouldn't be a part of the Raw roster. I get John Cena on SmackDown. There's two reasons I'm saying that. One, it's the Undisputed WWE title picture, right? That title goes on SmackDown while the World Heavyweight Championship goes on Raw, right? And Cody Rhodes is SmackDown superstar. And right now we'll have Cody showed up on Raw and SmackDown, while Cena's only showed up on Raw because he's a Raw superstar, when he should be go to SmackDown for the SmackDown Championship. But I get it, because obviously they don't feel like the Gunther and Jay feud is hitting, which it is, by the way. People are just fake as fuck. And obviously they want something to carry the show, and they want to keep Monday Night Raw the A show, which is sad because I've always liked the idea of SmackDown more, and I feel like it should be the A show, or it should at least be equal and you should have a favourite. But right now Raw's absolutely always the A show, which is disappointing considering the talent that is on SmackDown. But yeah, and also another reason I think they should have the Cena Cody Rhodes feud on SmackDown is because I went to London for SmackDown. Originally I wanted to go to London for the Raw show because I knew it would be the better show. I knew it would have the bigger stars, and I knew I would guarantee John Cena. I couldn't guarantee John Cena for SmackDown, and that's why I wanted to go on the Raw one, but it was much harder to get tickets to so much quicker, and I couldn't go, so I ended up going to SmackDown, which was still a great experience, but no John Cena. And I feel like I would have enjoyed the Raw much better because there was less matches, so it was less dragging, and there was more segments, so, and better storytelling altogether. But let's open up anyway. So obviously we had Cena come out, and if you noticed, we've done this promo battle 3 weeks now. And the first one, John Cena's promo lasted 30 minutes, and obviously they cut a few matches short. Cody Rhodes came out and did a segment. Right, then last week John Cena's lasted about 15 minutes. Cody Rhodes came out and did a segment. So it got shorter. And this week, Cena came out, and before he even said a word, Cody Rhodes came straight out. And I thought, yes, great. Because this means, right, because the first 2 weeks John Cena went on about the crowd, went on about the fans, and he never actually said anything about Cody. He never addressed his rival, his opponent. He just addressed the crowd and why he's turned heel. So the fact that Cody came out meant we were going to get a conversation between the two, and meant that we were going to get a bit of the feud building, right? So Cody comes out, he goes, John, I know what you're going to say, you're going to insult my lisp. And then when he said lisp, he brought up the name Stardust, which the crowd popped for, and he goes, does that hurt you, John Cena, that your main event in your final WrestleMania is going to be Stardust? Which I thought was quite a clever dig. I like that he's not hiding it. I know the London crowd popped for that. I know on watching Raw doesn't sound that loud, but I can promise you from being in there on Friday, they were ecstatic. But yeah, I like that. And he sort of looked like he'd just killed everything John Cena was about to say. And John Cena came back with one of the best promos I've ever heard, right? They were always talking about promo of the year when CM Punk is on the screen and whatever. John Cena always cuts promo of the year every year, and normally he's only in WWE once a year, and it's always promo of the year, right? Because he's the GOAT. That's why he's the GOAT. And I was interested to see if he could grill someone as a heel as well, and that's what Cody pointed at. He said, you're going to try and cook me. And Cena said, no, I'm not going to cook you. I'm going to bury you. And he alluded to the Super Cena hate. And the reason they all hate him in the first place, the reason he's turned heel before the hate, because they all said John Cena buries young talent and doesn't give anyone a chance. And then Cena says, and I'm not going to bury you because you're young talent. He says, I don't bury talent, I am talent. I bury mediocrity. Yeah, I love that, because it's just like, that's a cool dig. And Cena gave like his whole promo, give it back to Cody Rhodes. And I was like, how was Cena going to come back from that? And he did. And then I thought, how's Cody going to come back from that? And then he did. And then I thought, how's Cena going to come back with that? And he did. And then as Cena was leaving the ring, Cody Rhodes says, oh John, one thing, never have I ever. Because I obviously it's hard to remember full promos off the top of my head, but I think Cena said something like, you're not it, you need like the WWE to push you and everything. He said, John Cena said that when he was hated, he had no one to protect him, and he's still here, and that's why he's the best and whatever. And then Cody Rhodes, as Cena was in the ring, said, John, I've never had, at any wrestling show I've ever wrestled at, I've never had the crowd chant, you can't wrestle. And that was the big dig, because obviously everyone's always chanting out about Cena, because he's not your typical wrestler. He's not the headlocks and takedowns wrestler, he's more the entertainer. And that's when Cena had it. Cena went in there, acted like he was going to fight Cody Rhodes again, and didn't, and laughed because he got everyone reacting as he normally does. And then he actually went for it. Cody countered, hit a crossroads. And it's a shame, because when Cena goes to hit a move and gets countered, he does it so slow, it looks fake and it looks shit. But he did it with The Rock at WrestleMania 40, but cut him some slack, right? But also, Cody Rhodes obviously hit the Cody cut. That's to make the champ look stronger. It's to get people talking about Cody as the favourite as well, because they don't just want everyone thinking John Cena's going to walk in and take the title. They want to give Cody his moments as well, because Cody is putting in the work, turning up at every show and building the story. So that was cool. But also as a John Cena fan, the man who got me into the wrestling game, it was sad to say, because he was just laying there flat, and obviously I didn't want Cody to get the better of him, but he did. Regardless, that was the best one yet, right? We've had 3 weeks of boring promos, and I thought, how are they going to book a face-to-face promo every week? It got better every week. First promo was awkward, but it did its job. The second promo was much better, but this week we've had a face-to-face, so much better. Anyways, let's talk about the actual Raw roster. So, yes, we had an announcement that next week Lyra Valkyria will face Bayley for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. As much as I'd love Bayley to win that belt, because she's my goal, Lyra Valkyria's obviously got to retain. They're not doing anything with Lyra Valkyria or the Women's Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania. I don't believe. She's not got no major storyline or anything. And it's nice that they keep her active. They're just doing title matches all the time. That makes sense, right? That makes sense. I love that. And obviously Bron Breakker, he's defending against the Judgment Day, and also he was defending against Penta last week. And he got interrupted by the Judgment Day. Judgment Day, or Finn of the Judgment Day, claims they've made up. And he's acting all cool with Dom and Carlito and everything. He says they're all fine, they're on a good page. And every time Finn would leave the room, Raquel and Liv would give a dirty look, like before the match. Finn and Dom were saying, oh, we're confident, we're back on the same page, we're going to win this match. Then Raquel gave a mean mug, like, ugh, so full of himself, whatever. They definitely need a new member. And then I had a tag team match against Bron Breakker and Penta. Breakker and Penta agreed to tag this one time. And then because of Judgment Day's distractions, Bron Breakker speared Penta, and Breakker and Penta lost the match. That caused to a little fight backstage. And then Dom and Finn came in the back. Finn was overconfident, saying, yes, I won. I did this, I'm going to get myself an Intercontinental title shot. And as he walked away, Liv said to Dom, don't have that. He said, I win, what about you? You deserve credit as well. And she said she's going to go speak to Adam Pearce after Finn's done and see what she can do for Dom. Now I like this because they're building on the Judgment Day storyline. Like I said the other week, I feel like that should have been when Dom turned on him. But they have an opportunity. And something tells me it might be at WrestleMania now. Something tells me there's going to be a multi-man match at Mania, probably a Fatal 4-Way. I feel like it's going to be Bron Breakker, Penta, Finn Balor and Dom. Finn's going to be mad at Liv and everyone for adding Dom in the match. And then Dom's going to turn on Finn in the match. I don't know who's going to win the match, but it ain't going to be Finn at WrestleMania. I hate to break it. I don't know if it'll be Penta. I don't know if it'll be Bron. It's likely to be Dom, but I hope not. So yeah, that was good. Solid match as well. These matches on Raw were actually fire. Like they were so good. We only had like 4 or 5 matches. I think we only had 4 matches, and they were absolute fire. So respect for that. Then we had the New Day. Obviously said last week they wanted a World Tag Team title shot, and Adam Pearce came out to the ring and said, I said you have to earn it, here you go. And then they brought out Newcastle Republic. Obviously Pete Dunne's been there the whole time, but Tyler Bates been out with injury. So Newcastle Republic is back as a tag team. Obviously in London, like they're from Birmingham. Like come on. And I mean Pete Dunne's from Dudley, but it's basically Birmingham. And obviously English crowd were going to love that. obviously they weren't going to win. I mean, WWE, you are sly cunts, right? On Friday you had Pretty Deadly lose in London, and now you've had Newcastle Republic lose in London. Shame on you. Shame, shame, shame. But New Day won, as expected. I mean, you weren't going to have Newcastle Republic come back and earn a shot at the titles, where no. And I think New Day deserve the World Tag Team titles. I mean, their heel run's been going great, and obviously you don't want them to just turn heel on Big E, put them in the spotlight, and then do nothing with them. Now it's a chance to capitalise. New Day obviously deserve it. They're one of the they are the greatest tag team of all time, and they deserve the belts. And I feel like, although it may not be this massive blockbuster match, let it happen at Mania. Just make it a card filler on Mania. Let the New Day have their moment, man, as heel. Make them world champions. I can't see why they'd have Viking Raiders retain, or War Raiders. Finally, the War Raiders again, and they've got the old theme. But I couldn't see why they'd have War Raiders retain. Seriously, it wouldn't make sense. Only if they were trying to build the champions up strong. But they've already done that, because they've held them for quite a minute and had quite a few defences. So I think New Day should win that. Just hit my gym session. Now back to what I was saying. So I just covered the World Tag Team title picture. Let's cover the World title picture. I'll cover Gunther Jason first, because it's the less exciting story right now. But obviously last week, when Gunther beat up Jay after Jay and Jimmy had their reunion tag team match, Jimmy was saying to Jay, "You've gone too soft," and they built into the thing of that Jay isn't big enough of a star to beat Gunther, which is what the fans were saying, which WWE went into that. They bit into that and fed to it, and which I like that they did that. It's clever. So Jimmy was saying last week, this year, so isn't going to beat Gunther. You've got to be more, and I'll show you. He walked up to Gunther, slapped him in the face, great slap, realistic slap, legit slap across the face, and he says, "I'm facing you next week, Gunther." And I thought, like, either would just have a long match where Gunther would win, or Gunther would destroy Jimmy and make Jay doubt himself even more. But no, Jimmy actually brought the fight to Gunther, and I've said in previous videos, Jimmy botches in matches, and I don't like the way, now that he's not the main Uso, he seemed to drop all wrestling ability, misses moves, doesn't do hard hitting, doesn't sell properly, just everything's going wrong. But this match was fire. Like, he was hitting shots, like he was bringing it to Gunther, hitting big moves, making big moments that made me believe Jimmy was a good wrestler again. And I actually thought, like, Jimmy's like dominating Gunther right now, but then obviously Gunther had to come back and actually start dominating the match and actually, like, basically killed the man. I mean, he hit him with power bombs, and then when the ref was going to count the pin, he lifted Jimmy up and stopped the pin, and then he'd go to choke him, and then eventually he was passed out, and the ref just went, "Nah, you're done, mate." And obviously after he was done, Gunther still decided to come beat him up. Jay came out to the ring to fight Gunther. Gunther ended up handcuffing Jay to the rope so Jay couldn't move anywhere, and then started brutally beating up Jimmy in front of Jay, made him bloody and everything, and obviously Jay couldn't reach, couldn't help. I love this. Bring some heat to the storyline for one, for people to actually start caring about it a bit more. But it also means people have been saying Gunther's world title reign's been terrible, and it shouldn't have been. Gunther's been made to look weak. This obviously made him look a lot stronger. And it shows that Jay was brought side out Gunther, where Gunther's supposed to be a professional, and he's supposed to be the matter sacred in its competition. Like Michael Cole said, Michael Cole called him a hypocrite, because now he's just come out and brutally attacked Jimmy and made it so unprofessional. And he was teasing Jay, but the world title said you can't reach it, obviously hitting the fact that Jay will never be good enough for the world title. Then also saying you couldn't even help Jimmy, to again further trying to put down Jay. Perfect storytelling. Honestly, I loved it. I wish WWE, but obviously I don't want them to do segments like that even more, because you want to keep the you want to keep it feeling good. I apologise for viewers. The wind is probably not helping you, so I hope you can hear me. Otherwise, I have to do this video all over again. But yeah, no, I like that they did that out there, seeing that they don't always do, because it ruined, like, I don't just do the typical cliche stuff I always do, where someone has a match, someone interrupts it, or they go out for a promo, start fighting, and then all the security, the other wrestlers try to separate them, and then somehow 20,000 men and hired security couldn't keep them two back and start beating up everyone and beating up each other. It's too cliche, it's too overdone, I hate it. It's one of my wrestling tropes, I hate it, right? So, I'm glad they went a different direction, made it more exciting. I'm curious now, like, what's going to happen to Jimmy, what's going to happen to Jay, what's going to happen in this feud. I'm curious now. I still think Gunther should win the title though, or should retain it, because to have Jay just but I know sports entertainment is no longer professional wrestling, but you still need to keep the professional wrestling side of it, and make you guys seem strong. It seemed daft that, you know, Jay, a tag team wrestler who took time to become good at trouble from starting, all of a sudden now beat Gunther because it's on the big stage and more, when he's been doubting himself the whole time. Gunther needs to retain, because the reign they've had with Gunther has been very disappointing, and it should be very good. So either they need Gunther to retain and carry on until the reign is good, or drop it and get it back and make a better reign. That's my opinion. And then finally, the main event. The three women in the world title picture. Now obviously last week, or 2 weeks ago, Rhea signed her name on the contract and we're like, whoa, was this now a triple threat match? And then obviously Adam Pearce was like, well no, Rhea, you want your shot, you'll face Io Sky in a rematch, and then the winner will face Bianca Belair at WrestleMania. Obviously a title rematch, and Bianca Belair was a special guest. Now you knew when Bianca Belair was a special guest, some shenanigans was going to happen, and obviously I thought the shenanigans would be Bianca screwing Rhea Ripley, and it's still somehow leading to Rhea getting her way into the match. But no, after both women sort of hit Bianca during the match, should end up double disqualifying them, ending the match, which means it's probably going to lead to a triple threat match, which we all knew that anyway. But this time when a fight broke out between Rhea and Bianca, and obviously the whole time, even though Io's the champ, the feud's been between Rhea and Bianca, and they've been pushing Io Sky to the side, like literally, not just metaphorically, like literally pushing her in the face and putting her down. So while Bianca and Rhea were brawling this time, Io got in there and beat the shit out of both the women, and obviously the dream match is Bianca and Rhea, because they're both these massive, powerful, muscular women who everyone wants to see face off, and Io's not that. Io's a high flyer, almost a technician. Like she's not the same style of wrestler as them too, so she's the odd one out, but she still beat the shit out of them. And obviously, who's not excited for that match? That doesn't even need a feud. Like, that's a WrestleMania match in itself. So in terms of Raw, that was honestly maybe one of the best Raws of Netflix, I think, personally. Just the enjoyment was just all there. Oh, another thing, Chad Gable segment. Obviously, he was still sick, so he could wrestle that week. And then something in the doctor's note meant Adam Pearce couldn't let him compete next week, which is in Chad Gable's hometown. Then Chad Gable started retracting it, and Adam Pearce was like, no, you want to pull this shank onto me, I'll pull them with you. You've got to wrestle next week in your hometown. But El Grande Americano, who obviously I think now it's obvious that it's Chad Gable, which I'm mad at, but it's fine, will wrestle in Memphis next week, which I think is going to be that new signing from AEW. I forget his name, don't hate me, but I don't watch AEW. Maybe I'm a diehard WWE fan, but I can't watch other brands. I grew up on WWE, what can I say? So yeah, that's my thoughts on Raw. One of the best Raws on Netflix since Netflix, right? Probably one of the best Raws in a while for me personally, right? But personally, I've got a little note to add. Obviously, it's just announced CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns is the main event in Night 1 WrestleMania, and Cody Cena is the main event in Night 2. While I agree these are the best matches on the card and they should be the main events, it's a bit annoying when WWE build the Royal Rumble up as it's a 30-man match. The winner of this gets a title opportunity in the main event of WrestleMania, and they're no longer the main event of WrestleMania. Like Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair won the Rumble. It makes sense to have Charlotte main event one night and Jay main event the other, but obviously the matches aren't big enough. There's not enough hype between Jay and Gunther. There's not enough hype between Charlotte and Liv. And no one wants to see them in the main event, obviously. But I think that's stupid the way that's done. Like, if that's not going to be your main event, why have them win the Rumble, right? Why not have Cena win the Rumble, have that feel-good moment? He's won 3 Rumbles, then turn him on Cody, have Cena Cody main event at Night 2, and then have either Bianca win the Rumble, and then she could be the first 2-time winner, and then that's another main event. Bang, there you go. 2 Rumble winners become main eventers. And why don't we just have Jay win an Elimination Chamber, put credibility on his name, and then have Charlotte Flair win an Elimination Chamber, because that's much better than winning the Rumble. The Rumble has so much hype and everyone was disappointed with the winners. Put them 2 in a match where it builds them up. Meanwhile, have the hype winners like Bianca and John Cena be the Rumble winners. Then we can stay true to a word. I'm sick of WWE saying, oh, the winners on Rumble get main event WrestleMania, the champion against their choosing. Yet they're not main event in WrestleMania. The only thing that's different is they've won a 30-man match, probably the most iconic match in WWE history. They're getting a championship match at WrestleMania, yes, but so many other people get that, and they don't have to win a Rumble for it. So they don't even have to win a Chamber for it. Yet the main event of night one, while it is a banger match, it's the 3 biggest stars in the company, it's not even for a title. So either WWE needs to get rid of that rule that the winner faces in a main event, or they need to actually make it true. I'd prefer that they stay true to it rather than get rid of it, because it seems like a good concept. If you win the biggest and most iconic, hardest match to win in WWE, it only happens once a year, you should main event WrestleMania. That's not always how it works, but that's my opinions. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.